gone all flat. Look at it.
Greetings. Welcome to Full Record Jacket with Phil and, well, it seems to be one of the members of Blur from around about 1995. Oh, no, it is Ben. Hello,
It is
Ben.
me. You
How are
can
you
tell
doing?
because I've got a fat face.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out my hair because I've been wearing the cap and I've just taken the cap off. So I don't know whether to keep the cap on or just go slight half hoodie, half.
I'm not going to criticise anyone's hairstyle because it would just be seen as pure envy. So I'm not going to do that. But
Why? What's the matter with? Oh, all right, Phil.
yeah. So I mean, I'm just glad I don't have to make those kinds of decisions. That's
I know.
all I'm going to say.
You just wake up in the morning, wash. I mean, you don't even have to buy shampoo. Just shower gel your whole body. Don't you? You don't even have to. You don't even have to. I mean, even when you have a shave, just shave, just carry on going round down your back because I know you've got the hairiest back in the world.
All these decisions, they just don't have to be made. This is great. So we are here to discuss what Ben's been buying.
Yes, and
What
this week
Ben?
has been a big week of buying stuff. Tell you what I did buy this week, actually, Phil. Do you remember I told you about my Michael Knight, my Playmobil for ages 2 and up, Knight Rider car that I got? Well, this week, do you want to know? Do you want me to go and get it, and I'll show you? It has nothing to do with music apart from the song that came out for the movie. But, let me go get it. Oh, me back.
I know you can't wait for this, viewer. I know that this is really why you tuned in to see Ben's toy cars.
As you well know, Philster, I am literally a 7-year-old child trapped in the body of a 44-year-old man. So think Ray Parker. Was it Ray Parker Jr.?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, Philster.
It's the hearse. It was a hearse. It was a hearse. Was it converted
Ecto
hearse?
1, yeah. Ecto 1. Apparently, it. Look. How good is that? Oh, Mama.
Well, there you go. You'll know, viewer, that if you find yourself ever living on the same road as Ben, you'll know that there's something strange in the neighbourhood.
There definitely is. And that's why 4 people on my road have got a restraining order against me.
I'm not surprised. Only 4?
Yeah, but I murdered the rest. Shh.
There's only 5 houses on the road. But there
we
is, go.
To be fair, yeah. Anyway, down to what I've bought this week. I'm just trying to. I don't know where I've put them now. Oh no. 1 second. Oh, the first one is this one here.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I didn't know what it was. Obviously, I'm going to be saying, who is that?
It's an artist called Banji, or a group called Banji, and it's their album Fish Cakes. Once again, because I'm a child, you can see. Can you see what sort of enticed me into the album?
Oddly enough, yes. It doesn't look quite like any album I've ever seen before, I must say.
No, it's kind of cool, isn't it? But this is
unique.
This is from 2022, and it's their Fish Cakes album. It's the limited edition blue vinyl. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about Banji? If I can find them. I'm sure I found them the other day. They're American. No, it took me a little while to find this because I typed in Banji Fish Cakes, and it actually just brought up a load of recipes for fish cakes. Oh, they're a Dutch band. I thought they were American, but they're Dutch. And let's have a look.
Do they sing in English or do they sing in Dutch?
No, they sing in English, and it's kind of Dutch band Banji have released a debut album, Fish Cakes. The 4-piece are all producers in their own right, and their technicolor interpretation of indie pop is a refreshing listen. However, the themes are firmly planted in the reality of contemporary life. And this is an interview with the band. So yeah, they're Dutch. I'll tell you one thing. It's as you can tell by the cover, it is very quirky. So let's go into Discogs, because Discogs sometimes has a little sort of blurb about them.
While you're looking that up, can you think of any other Dutch acts that have had
Two Unlimited.
successful music in the UK that hit records? Two Unlimited. I knew there was some dance thing
They
in
were
the
Dutch.
90s.
Yeah, wasn't Hadaway Dutch, or was he German? There's nothing on Discogs about them. Dutch.
There were dance things in the 90s, but can you
Yeah,
think
there
of anything
was.
further back that was Dutch that
No.
had big hits? Or do you remember? Shocking Blue?
Shocking Blue.
They were a rock band.
No.
They're the ones who did Venus. You know Venus that Bananarama did?
Oh, yeah.
The original late 60s rock. It's one of those sort of late 60s, slightly gothic edge to it. Rock songs. Yeah. They were Dutch. And also, do you remember Pussycat?
No.
They did a country song called Mississippi in the 70s. It was kind of like an easy listening commercial country style song that was a big hit. Sometime in the mid 70s, I think, late 70s maybe, and it was called Mississippi, and they were called Pussycat, and they were Dutch.
Yeah.
And I'm now trying to remember now whether the rock band Golden Earring, who did Radar Love, I can't remember now whether they were Dutch or whether they were Scandinavian or whether they were. I don't think they were Belgian.
To be fair, you could have just ended this at Two Unlimited, because my limit of Dutch music is very, very narrow. Is the best way to describe it.
I'm going to look up Golden Earring now. It was a Dutch rock group. Yeah.
They were Dutch. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want the next one on my
from The Hague,
on my list?
Den Haag.
Yeah. The next one up is this one here. I got this the other day. It's a guy called Somni, and the album Gravity. That's a pretty cool album cover. I like these sort of simple sort of.
It's quite. I've never seen one like that before. Someone just is he just standing there singing up to the ceiling?
No. If you can see that, that's snow.
Is he standing in the snow?
No, he's jumping. His feet are off. His feet are off. Yeah, his feet are off.
And he's looking in the air.
He's kind of jumping like that.
It's kind of original. I've never seen. Well, maybe someone's done it before, but I've never seen an album cover quite like that.
Yeah. So this
kind of clever.
Yeah, let me get a bit more information on this one up. So yeah, here's Somni, and he is. It's electronic music, if anybody would like to know. Just if there's anything about him on here. No. So we will go into the next. What they call Spotify. We'll have a look in there, because sometimes they have a. Here he is, Somni. So he's on there. He looks youthful, if you can see him. He's got a hat.
Is Somni an insomniac? Is that why he's jumping around in the snow in the dark because he can't go to sleep?
Here we go. Somni is Leo Schulman, a UK-born, LA-based producer and singer-songwriter with a wide range of influences spanning from the Flying Lotus to Elliott Smith. Somni's music toes the line between electronic beat music, indie folk, and lo-fi hip-hop. So, it's worth a listen, Phil, so I think. So, let's have a look. An electronic beat-driven album that employs a warm, swirling collage of ambient electronic sounds and layered vocals. So there you go. So that's one to add to your little list, isn't it?
Groovy.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. Right, next up. In fact, I get a little bit more prepared for this, because just so it makes us look professional. And it is a sort of folk rockish album by a guy called Landon Lloyd Miller. Light Shines Through.
That sounds like some kind of gospel-y.
Yeah, it does. There he is there. It says here, right, it's got a few things on here. Miller has a head full of ideas which gives light shines through the mercurial quality of a fever dream, an inciting slice of folk and alt country. A beautiful beginning, the earnest and evocative light shines through, provides a mantra everyone can all take to heart. So there you go. Are you writing these down, Philster?
Yeah, kind of. Somni. How do you spell him?
Him, H-I-M.
Thanks.
Cheers, dude. Here to help. S-O-M-N-I.
I've got that one. Yeah. Who's the other guy?
Landon Lloyd Miller.
Landon, as in Landon.
That's the one.
London with a Cockney accent.
Yeah, Landon, son, Landon. Hit me diamonds.
And Lloyd Miller spelt the way you'd think it was going to be spelled.
Yeah, I always struggle spelling Lloyd. It's one of those words I always struggle with. Don't know why. Anyway, next up,
L.
I think that's what throws me, you know, because I never know. I always seem to put a double Y, and I'm like, no word has a double Y unless you live in Wales. Does it? So, anyway, next up is a electronic rock album. I suppose this is the best way to describe it. And it is by a band called Hogamos. Just generally what they're called. Higamos, Hogamos. Shall we see if I can find out a little bit about Higamos?
The Higamos Hogamos, M-O-U-S.
No, H-O-G-A-M-O-S. Higamos.
Higamos Hogamos.
Higamos, yeah. Hogamos.
Can you show us the front cover again?
There you go. That's a cool cover as well, isn't it?
Higamos.
Hogamos. Right. Do you want me to find
genius.
some... It is genius, isn't it?
I do have to say, who?
I thought you might say that, to be fair.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them, son. Right, here we go. Named after the seemingly nonsensical word that philosopher William James coined as the meaning of life, while experimenting with nitrous oxide, Hogamos, like James, is a stony and experimental electronic duo that blends electronic sounds with 70s glam, psychedelia, and kraut rock, especially kraut rock. So they're American by the looks of it. So Holidays are heavily influenced by the driving electro rhythms of motoric German groups such as New Kraftwerk and Harmonia. So yeah, there you go. That's Hogamos. It is a good album
all the time.
It is a good album cover, though, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I can't.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Remember on the Fast Show when they used to do the Spanish thing? That kind of reminds me of sort of the writing you'd get on a 80s, late 70s, early 80s Spanish TV show. Anyway, last on my little list of fun is, I think it's the 2022 album by Foals. Life is Yours.
Can you just move it slightly more towards your microphone side? Oh, yeah, it's Foals. Thanks.
Yeah. Have you never heard of Foals before?
I have heard of them, like baby horses.
Yeah. No, not. Yeah.
I have heard of them, but I've never heard the music.
Very good. You should give it a listen. I think they're from Oxford. I'm just gonna have a look. I'm sure they're from Oxford way. They had what was the big album they had? Antidotes in 2008. That's a really, really good album. Really worth listening to that one, Philster. I'm just seeing if I've got a little bit of... They're a big band. There we go. Foals emerged in the late 2000s with an off-balance indie rock influenced by catchy new wave math rock. Math rock? What's math rock?
I have no idea.
Anyway, an atmospheric post-rock. Yeah, they're from Oxford, so they're from Radiohead territory.
I mean, most rock bands are math rock, aren't they? Because they tend to go on stage and play a few numbers.
Hey!
Boom.
Mic drop. But I think this is quite an upbeat album from Foals. It's got a sort of up-tempo-y, electronic-y sort of feel to it. But I fully recommend Foals, especially the Antidote album. I say I fully recommend. I haven't listened to a great deal of their later stuff, but I remember when that Antidote album came out. I think it was 2008, maybe 2008. Yeah, it's. I tell you what, it's sort of Foals, one of those bands, a little bit like. Do you remember Editors?
Yes, they were kind of indie rock with a deep voiced singer who sounded quite serious.
It's not the fact that they're the same as them. It's more that you've got Foals, Editors. Who are the the American band got really big. Can't think of their name, but they're one of these bands where you think when you listen to a song, you think, oh yeah, that's really really good, but then you don't ever get yourself immersed in them, if you know what I mean. You hear them, you think, God, they sound mega, but then you never truly immerse yourself in what they do, and then it turns out that they're really, really good.
American
and you should have
band
taken the time. Yeah,
that were good. What kind of music did they do?
Oh, they did the. I'll tell you what. I'll have to type
Country.
in.
Is it kind of country rock or indie? Country?
It's going to bug me when I find it
Is it
out.
mellow?
No.
More rocking.
Yeah, didn't their lead singer recently get accused of sort of some sexual misconduct?
Are you talking about Arcade Fire?
That's it, Arcade Fire. You know, these sort of
Canadian.
bands. Yes, when you sort of hear them, you think, oh, they're really good, and you sort of, but you never fully get round to listening to them, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
I have done that with a lot of Arcade Fire, that I've never got round to listening to a lot of it, and I don't doubt that it's obviously
very good.
They've obviously got something going for them because they are quite acclaimed and popular, and they've been going for a while, and they must have something.
Yeah.
But I've never delved far enough into all of it.
No, and it's so Foals. We've got 1992 to listen to. I was going to say I'm going to listen to it tonight, but I'm not. You know what I'm going to listen to tonight? Because I've been listening to Suede's Coming Up all week. Really like that album. But I'm going to listen to the Coldplay debut album because I heard the song Trouble when I was out yesterday, and I was like, I forgot how good that Coldplay debut album was.
Yeah, did that have planets on the front of it or something?
Yeah, parachutes. It had. Is it like a spinning globe or something?
Oh, it's the globe. That's right. It's called Parachute. Well, obviously the most famous song on it was Yellow, that got played the most.
Yeah.
Is it all that style of music on it?
Like Yellow? No, it's quite reflective.
I thought Yellow was quite reflective.
Well, yeah, but it's a bit up tempo-y as well, isn't it? It's got that sort of.
Okay,
yeah. If you haven't listened to it, you must have listened to Parachutes by Coldplay.
I don't think I've listened to the whole thing. No, I don't think
go listen to it. I mean, I do have a tendency of. I think it's a bit. It's the sort of Bon Jovi thing, isn't it? Of it's fashionable to point the finger at Coldplay at times.
But when they first came out, they hadn't got to the stage of being slagged off by people, had they? The first album they were quite. They were seen as being quite cool, and Yellow was quite popular.
Yeah, and Trouble with
backbiting hadn't begun at that point.
No, and I think Trouble with Coldplay is they become a bit of a parody of themselves in a way. I say that I did get their Music of Spheres album. I do have a fair amount of Coldplay. The early stuff, the early couple of albums, and I've got a couple of the later albums. But yeah, the first album, Parachutes, is really, really good.
I think it's
probably underrated. Yeah.
I think I would prefer the early stuff. I'm not dissing them for going a bit more commercial. I suppose it's kind of inevitable in a way, isn't it? I guess I've not listened to enough of all of the albums to know the differences between them, to be honest, because Coldplay is kind of Coldplay, isn't it? After the first 2 or 3 albums, there was a certain Coldplay sound, wasn't there, really?
Yes, yeah.
Although I think
And
they did experiment a teeny bit with the sound, I think.
yeah,
But
they even got into a bit of K-pop, didn't they? I think on their last
did they
album.
go
So
quite poppy? They did do some stuff that was quite fluffy poppy, didn't they? Am I right to
yeah,
think
the
that?
last album, I think they did. I think there's a song on there which is with is it BTS or something like that? One of these Korean
Really?
bands or
Okay.
whatever. So there is a song on there. But I quite like the Reflective album from, is it 2014? Sky Full of Stars. That's because that's nothing. That's a break from Coldplay being Coldplay, because that's quite a. I think it's only got about 8 songs on it, but it's got quite a quite a down album, that one. Apart from that, the lead single from it. So, but yeah, go listen to. Well, you've got a lot to listen to. You've got 1992 to listen to. You've got all those albums, Humongous Bongus or whatever it was, Hogamos. But I fully recommend listen to Coldplay. In fact, we should do a thing about Coldplay. Maybe that first album, sort of delve into
Well,
it.
we could do a thing about Coldplay. We could do them on our Hip Hate Figures series, couldn't we? Because they are hated by hipsters.
They are, yeah.
Kind of like the way that the same way as Bon Jovi and some of the other acts that I've got lined up for that one. So yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we'll do them.
Yeah, we'll do that. But that's what I have been buying this week.
There you go, viewer. Somni. Have you heard of them? Have you heard of Landon, Lloyd, Miller, Hogamos, and Foals? If you've heard heard of all 4 of those before, I don't believe you, quite frankly. Or you're even hipper than Ben, which surely can't be possible. Can it? Thanks for watching. All the best.